Hello and welcome to the MFG Advocate. I'm Penny Brown. Manufacturing faces a severe workforce shortage. It's estimated that in the next 10 years, there could be as many as 2 million unfilled positions in the industry. That makes it even more important to encourage young people to pursue manufacturing careers. Today, we're here to speak to one of those young people who's done that, Jessie Quick with Flying S Inc. How are you today, Jessie?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
And this is your first IMTS, I understand.
Yes, I got hired by my company a month ago.
So tell us about what you do.
I am a mechanical engineer for a small aerospace company in central southern Illinois. We do a lot of really prototypey type things. It's pretty cool stuff.
Okay, so what sort of things do you do in your day-to-day job?
A lot of it is design work. I do a lot of SolidWorks on the computer and things like that, but it's really unique where I work that I can also go out and do whatever I want out there too. We work with a lot of carbon fiber things, so I've learned so much about all kinds of composite materials, and we have a CNC area as well.
So describe kind of one of your typical days on the job.
Well, seeing as I'm a new employee, I usually check my email and have about 5 emails from somebody telling me to do something. I make my way through the list, try to work on everything that I know that I can do by myself first. That involves a lot of SolidWorks. I usually spend about 6 hours of the day on SolidWorks just trying to figure out what I need to be doing and what else might be wrong with what's going on with our company. We just finished a huge project, so that was kind of nice to get out the door eventually. And then I eat lunch and I go back to it, and it's about the same. I like to go out at the end of the day and kind of see what's happening everywhere else too.
Sure, so what kind of encouraged you to pursue this kind of career?
Well, I actually started out as a music and math education major. My fiance was an engineering major, and he asked me for help with his homework. And when I did it very well, he said, "What are you doing? Why aren't you doing this?" So I took a couple classes and I joined a club where I found out that I love being able to design something and then make it and then see the finished product. And yeah, so I really enjoy seeing the whole process, and that's what I get to do with my job.
So if you were to talk to another young person who's kind of considering a manufacturing career, what would you tell them about it?
Well, I would say definitely go for it, but try to learn as much as you can before you start working, because you really just have to dive in, and the more you know before you get there, the better.
What type of education would you recommend someone to pursue?
Well, I really just got a bachelor's degree, so I would say join as many clubs as you can along the way, get as much hands-on experience as you can.
Sure.
And then from there, just take your classes, do as well as you can, learn as much as you can.
What types of clubs are out there?
Well, the one I joined my freshman year was the Moon Buggy team. It's now called the Rover Design team, I think. But it's you go down to Alabama and you race your Moon Buggy against teams from all over the world, and it's a really unique experience to just go down to a NASA headquarters and do this kind of thing. As a freshman, I got to go and I was so excited. I also was on the Formula Design team for a little bit, and so that's a little more towards cars and racing and things like that. We didn't get to go to the race this year, but it was still a lot of fun.
So I think one of the things that's kind of an issue with manufacturing is that there's not really that many women that work in the industry, and that's kind of been something that gets discussed a lot as far as like trying to encourage more people, you know, to address this skilled worker shortage. So why do you think women are not pursuing these careers, and what do you think can be done to maybe improve that?
Well, it is a little scary, especially starting out and not knowing a lot of people. It really helps if you do know a lot of guys, or know a guy where you're working that you can kind of make a connection with, and you really have to get to know them as people and make sure that if you're in a male-dominated area, you can't just all of a sudden, you can be girly, obviously, I'm very girly, but you have to at least understand where guys are coming from and try to fit in as best as you can. But other than that, you just really have to be strong and know what you want and go for it.
And I understand you are the only woman working on the production team where you are, correct?
Yeah, there are several women that work there, but I'm the only one on the manufacturing side currently.
Do you find that intimidating at all?
Actually, not really. It's kind of fun.
You're kind of like everyone's sister.
Yeah.
So what do people say when you tell them what you do?
They say, "Wow, you're really smart." Yeah. Other than that, they don't really ask a lot of questions. After I say engineer and aerospace, they get kind of scared and yeah.
So long term, what do you think some of your career goals are?
Honestly, I'm pretty good right now. I'm not really sure where I would want to go from here. I work for a great company in a great town, and I do what I wanted to do.
And your company, where are you located again?
Palestine, Illinois.
And how big is your firm?
Our firm, I think we have 65 employees right now.
What kind of technology developments do you find most exciting right now about manufacturing?
I'm just still trying to learn as much as I can. I really enjoy learning about the different ways that you can manipulate metal. And there's a lot of composite work that's going on right now. That's a lot of what our company does, is a lot of composite work. And so learning more about that and learning different things about that is really important right now.
What types of technology is your company looking at here?
Well, we use 3-axis and 5-axis machines a lot. We go through the Haas brand a lot. Other than that, I'm not really sure. We're getting a really big one really soon. I think it's one of the first ones in the United States.
Oh wow, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. So did you do any sort of like internships or apprenticeships along the way?
I actually got hired at this company as an intern at the beginning of the summer, and I finished my degree over the summer and then got hired straight on as an engineer right away.
What do you like most about your company?
Oh, just that I can go from being in the office to being on the floor and just taking a product from start to finish. The other day I designed a part for one of our projects, and I found out where I wanted the part to go. I designed it, and then I went out and I cut it out and I made it, and I gave it to the guy who put it in the part.
It's very satisfying.
It is so satisfying. As
Right.
someone who grew up cooking and baking and sewing, I mean, I still obviously love all those things, but it's kind of the same process where you take something from the start to the finish, and I love that.
So you would label yourself a maker?
Yes, definitely.
Do you think that movement kind of has an influence on people pursuing manufacturing?
Yeah, I think that there's a very large difference between people who want to go into engineering or something like that just to sit at a desk all day versus people who want to go out and they want to make stuff. I think that makes a really big difference on what kind of person they are and what kind of engineer they are, and that's definitely beneficial to companies.
So have you had much exposure to industrial 3D printing?
Not industrial, but I have one at my house.
Oh, that's awesome.
I learned a lot from that. That was one of the first things I ever took from start to finish. Was I made my graduation cap. I made a gear that turned, and it turned another gear, and it said mechanical engineer on it. And I designed it in SolidWorks, and I transformed it into a CAD program so that I could take it to the 3D printer and print it myself.
So how long have you had that?
I think a year and a half. I think we got it a couple Christmases ago.
That's very exciting.
It is, yeah.
Did you know you were going to work in manufacturing when you got that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely, it's actually my fiance's, and I kind of took it back to college with me pretty fast.
Where did you go to school?
I went to SIU in Carbondale.
And SIU is, what's that stand for?
Southern Illinois University.
And your major was?
Mechanical engineering.
So can you just give us like maybe one sentence on what you would say to somebody that really wants to get into manufacturing?
Learn as much as you can and watch as much as you can.
Solid advice. Thank you, Jesse. I really hope you appreciate your time here at IMTS.
I definitely will. Thank you, Penny.
Sure. This has been Penny Brown for the MFG Advocate.